What's going on, everyone? Filthy Card Breaks here. Today we have a small 8-card PSA reveal, and then I also wanted to touch on a card show I went to this morning. I'm filming this on Sunday, the last weekend in August. I went to my local card show that they put on quarterly, picked up a few things, nothing huge. Got a nice Austin Riley framed mini autograph from Allen and Ginter, a De La Cruz Bowman Mega, first Bowman, Braves prospect, and then this cool Heritage chipper. I don't know what this parallel is called, but it was numbered out of 59. One of the dealers I was talking to, we were just chatting, and he found out I was a Braves fan, so he had a bunch of older Braves cards that I looked through. This one didn't have a sticker on it, and I said, hey, I have no idea what this card is worth. What are you selling it for? And he pulled out his phone, and then he looked up at me and he said, instead of looking this up, how about $8? And I said, $8 sounds good. I imagine it would be very difficult to find an accurate comp on a card that's, let me see if it has the year on here, from 2008. So a 13-year-old card that's numbered to 59 would probably be very difficult to find an accurate comp on. But I just thought it was a really neat card. Going to put it on display, and it's numbered out of 59. Another thing I wanted to touch on is the card show as a whole this morning was so much fun. Every dealer I talked to was just really enthusiastic and grateful with their time, and it was a blast talking about the hobby. One of the dealers I was just admiring all of his sweet Acuna cards. He must have been a Braves collector. He just had a ton of Acunas. And in particular, I was looking at a 2018 Update Gold, and he's like, yeah, that's nice. Actually, I have 5 more. So then he whipped out 5, asked if I could take a picture. I'll put that on the screen now. So he ended up having a total of 6 of the 2018 Update Gold parallels. I wasn't prepared to spend that type of money, but yeah, beautiful cards. Another dealer had a CJ Abrams 2019 Bowman Draft autograph, base and raw. I did try to pick that up. Unfortunately, we weren't able to meet in the middle, but that was kind of the big card that I was looking at today to purchase. It just didn't happen, but man, I had such a good time at the card show and already looking forward to the next one. With all that out of the way, let's talk about this grade reveal. So I have 8 cards here, and they're actually from 2 different submissions. One was a bulk submission, and this is going to be pre-2017 that I submitted last year in September. No, excuse me. I submitted that last year in July, and then the other one's a standard order that I submitted in September. I got both these back in July, but it went through the consignment process, so that took a few weeks. So I got them back within the past week or 2. But we'll go ahead and go through these, and I'll let you know my thoughts. A large portion of them are PC cards, and some I'm just going to stash and see how the players develop. But here we go. So first off, we've got a Mike Soroka. This is going to be his first Bowman Chrome from 2015 Bowman Draft, and we got a 9. Really hoping that Soroka is able to come back. If you haven't followed, he tore his ACL, and he was going to come back around the All-Star break this year is what was anticipated, and then unfortunately, yeah, he had to go back under for surgery. So rooting for Mike. Hopefully he can recover. Very talented young Braves pitcher. Speaking of talented Braves pitchers, this is a Ian Anderson first Bowman Chrome. This should be from a 2016 draft. Ian's coming back, and he's actually pitching today. I'm filming this Sunday around noon, so the Braves game is about to start, and Ian's just coming back from the DL. And this one also got a 9. So tough getting a couple 9s on Chrome cards, but these cards are a few years old, and they're ones that I picked up raw. Next up, we've got another Braves player. This one is Ozzie Albies. I think this is 2015 Bowman. This is his first Bowman. Yeah, 2015 Bowman. There is the Ozzie. And again, we got another 9, so the 9s are not stopping. Next up, and this is going to be the last card in this pre-2017. If you're not familiar with PSA, before they shut down and kind of reconfigured their pricing, for bulk, they used to have Ultramodern, which it changes every year, but it was 2018 to today, and then they had pre-2018, so it was like, I can't remember the exact year, but it was some year to 2017, and then they had kind of an older or vintage category for bulk. So it's kind of interesting. When I submitted these cards, it was only $9 each. So even though I'm getting 9s, it's hard for me to be too disappointed considering now the cost of grading cards, and I only paid $9 each for these. So this is a neat one. This is Mookie Betts. It is his rookie debut paper, and we finally got a 10. So we did get a 10 on this. Kind of cool card. My first Mookie that's going to go in the PC. I tried to submit a couple of paper first Bowmans of his I had, and they didn't hit the min grade. That's in a previous PSA submission video I did. So that was unfortunate, but I did get the 10 on this one. Sharp looking card. One thing I really dislike is this card moves a lot in the holder. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's kind of moving back and forth. And it's not uncommon that PSA cards have some movement in the holder, but this card in particular moves a lot. So that's kind of tough. Over time, that could really damage the edges. All right, we'll put Mookie up on a stand, and then here is a standard order, and it's all 2 players. I submitted this last year in September, so this was a standard order, which is not bulk, and it still took about 10 months for PSA to pop because these popped in July. It's a pretty tough turnaround time, but they are all Tatis and Elise Roberts. We'll go ahead and take a look at these. This first one is going to be a Tatis Chrome. I don't know if I mentioned this or not. I already know the grades. I looked at these when they popped because I co-signed some cards. And boom, we got the 10. I also submitted 2 Tatis paper, and those both got 9s, which was kind of disappointing because I remember particularly when I sent those in, there was one that I bought from the fellow YouTuber Tommy's Break. I also bought this Chrome from him, and I just thought that card looked perfect. So I was really confident when I sent that in that one of the 2 papers was going to get a 10. And then the other one I actually pack pulled from a Walgreens Prime pack that I wasn't as in good shape, but I thought it had a good chance to 9. They ended up both getting 9s, and I co-signed those to help pay for the submission cost. But the Chrome got a 10. Nice looking card. Thank you, Tommy, for selling those to me well over a year ago at this point. We'll throw Tatis up on a stand. The next 2 are Elise Roberts. We've got 1 paper and 1 Chrome, and they both got 9s, which 2020 Topps Chrome, just as a set in general, has a really, really high gem rate. So Topps obviously did a very good job manufacturing the cards. So getting a 9 on the Chrome is tough. I also had 2 Elise Roberts Chromes that got PSA 10s that I co-signed. And I used the co-sign proceeds from that and the 2 Tatises that 9'd to pay for the entire submission cost of these. So these standard cards, they were $25 each to submit. And then the bulk were $9 each at the time. So I did do some co-signment. I'll put the total of what I ended up with down below at the end of the reveal. But just keep in mind that there are 4 other cards I don't have. I've already sold them. 2 are 9s and 2 are 10s. And then the last one is a Elise Roberts, and this is a sepia refractor, and we got the 10. Pumped to have this one. I've spoke about this before, but I'm really trying to move away from base cards for ultra modern, just because I in particular, unless it's someone I PC like Ian Anderson or Christian Pache, but otherwise I'm really going to try to focus on parallels going forward, especially for grading. So happy this sepia got a 10. We're gonna hold on to that. It's a nice looking card. We'll put him up on a stand. One last thing I wanted to touch on is this was by far my lowest gem percentage of a PSA submission. Not that I'm some sort of grading expert. I've only done, I've done like 2 or 3 other PSA submissions and 3 or 4 other SGC submissions. And this was my first time. I think overall I'm going to end up with a gem rate at right around 50%. I'll put the total on screen. But that's by far my lowest with a PSA submission. Going into these My career average for PSA was about 75%. Most of that is on ultra modern cards, so well below what I've done in the past. I know some people have said that they believe PSA has made their grading requirements more strict or tougher since they were bought out, and now that they've kind of closed down their submission levels and are opening them back up. I'm not sure that's the case, and obviously this is way too small of a sample size for me to really lean heavily one way or the other. But I did want to bring that up since it is something that's being discussed within the hobby, that PSA is grading tougher. They're handing out much more 9s than 10s. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Thanks for hanging out and checking out this grade reveal, guys. Please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the grade reveal or the card show stories. I look forward to hearing from all of you. Thanks. Take care.